start a short story, Rawshan. The Rawshan written by William Somerset Maugham. So, have you heard of Somerset Maugham? Who is Somerset Maugham? He is a British playwright, novelist, and short story writer. And this story is a study of irony, humor, and human nature. When we will go through the story, we will read between the lines and try to analyze the characters, try to analyze the themes of the story and the important literary devices used in this story. Okay, let's go about the William Somerset Maugham, and here is some of his famous works, literary works of human bondage, the moon and sixpence, and the religious age, for your better knowledge. And writing style and the tone. Okay, so the writing style of Somerset Maugham is simple, witty, and ironic. While going through the story, you will see the writer uses very witty language and the irony also. Irony means the what do you think by irony? Irony is what is saying is the opposite. Think of the yes. Witty, very intelligent word, very intelligent. Irony is, think of the when the lady said, I never eat more than one thing in lunch. I never eat more than one thing in lunch. This is irony. When you read the story, you will see that the situational irony and verbal irony is being used here. So, irony when or what actually happens is opposite of what is expected. So, what actually happens is opposite of what is expected. What is expected? So, when the lady is saying that I never eat more than one thing or lunch, but what she is doing? Let us see the story, what she is doing. So, the plot of the story. Okay, now, overview. The narrative style is first person and autobiographical tone. First person, that means the writer is telling his story. Writer is telling his story, and you see that from the first sentence, I saw her in the theater. I sat down beside her. So this is first person. First person, the writer is telling his own experience. That is why it is autobiographical also. And the setting. Okay, I have told you that setting means the place and time of the story or the play. A French restaurant in Paris. And characters, the narrator, a young struggling writer, the woman, and older self-proclaimed actress. So the narrator, he is the writer, and he is young and struggling. Why is struggling? Because he is at his early age and he is earning to make his livelihood and to mount. Okay. Now, look at the story. I had a small apartment in Latin Quarter, and I was earning only just enough to keep body and soul together. The writer is saying that he was just enough money to keep body and soul together. This is a phrase, keep body and soul together. That means only he is earning the money only to meet his daily commodities or daily expenses. Keep body and soul together. This is a phrase. Keep body and soul together. To keep body and soul together. This is a phrase. And what did the lady do? She read a book of the writer of Somerset Maugham and had written to him a letter about it. And the writer answered and thanked her. And after that, presently the writer received another letter from her saying that she was passing through Paris and would like to have a chat with him. Okay. Would I give her a little luncheon at Foyers? Foyers is a restaurant in Paris, and this is a very expensive restaurant where the writer never thought of going. He never ever thought that he could go afford to eat something there. But when the lady proposes, she got flattered. She told that he got flattered and he told that he was too young to say no to a woman. He could not say no. And the Foyers, what did the writer say? Look at the story. The writer said the Foyers is a restaurant at which the French senators eat, and it was so far beyond my means, and I had never even thought of going there. So think of how expensive and costly the restaurant is. But I was flattered and too young to have learned to say no to a woman. Mark the line, please. You just mark the line that the writer got flattered and he was too young to have learned to say to a woman.
No way, woman.
Yes. And now he is telling that I had 80 francs to last me the rest of the month, and then he said luncheon should not cost more than 50. Okay, so he was just thinking of his capacity or financial condition, that he had only 80 francs for the rest of his month. And he thought that, okay, a modest lunch could cost only 50. So he thought that he will skip the drinking coffee. He will skip coffee for the next 2 weeks, and in this way he could manage the money. So he thought it, but what happened afterwards? When the lady came and what happened? So let's go through the story. Now, after that, okay, thinking like this, the writer answered, and he would meet my friend at Foyers on Thursday at 12:30. So this is the time and date. She was not so young as I expected. When they meet, what did the writer? Okay, what is the experience of the writer? He says that the lady was not so young as I expected. She was in fact a woman of 40, and she gave me the impression of having more teeth than were necessary for any practical purpose.
Like 20 years old.
So, yes. And she gave me the impression, mark the sentences, that this is also okay, another type of witty or ironical tone here. And so this sentence just expresses the feeling and the amazing experience or the ironic experience of the writer. She talked a lot, but since she seemed inclined to talk about me, I was prepared to be an attentive listener. attentive listener. These words are very much witty words. And now come to the point that when the bill came, when the menu came, the writer got startled to see the cost. And this is unimaginable for the writer. The cost, the prices of the foods were so high, so expensive. And but she assured me, I never eat anything for lunch. This sentence you will get lots of times, many times you will get this sentence. I never eat more than one thing for lunch. Okay, so what did she do? What did she do? Well, it was early in the year now. She said that the writer was very much generous and very much hospitable, and he is saying that please don't say like this. Please don't say like this. This is very much okay, the formal. But the lady says that I never eat. Again, she is saying that I never eat more than one thing. I think people eat far too much nowadays. So she is just criticizing other people and say that a little fish, perhaps I wonder if they have any salmon. Think of a little fish, but she wants to have some salmon. Salmon is very much expensive, and this salmon fish was not included in the list or the menu because the salmon was off season at that time. And what happened after that? The writer says that it was early in the year of salmon and it was not on the menu. Have you got the sentence? It was in page 30. But I asked the waiter if there was any. The writer was too much liberal, and he just formally asked that waiter that if there was any salmon. What is the answer of the waiter? Yes, a beautiful salmon had just come in. And it was the first they had. I ordered it for my guest. The waiter asked if she would have something while it was being cooked. The waiter asked the lady that if she wants something while the fish was being cooked. So at that time, what happened? The lady says, no, I never eat more than one thing unless you have a little caviar. Again, another very expensive item of food. So what happened to the writer? My heart sank a bit. My heart sank a bit. I knew I could not afford caviar, but I could not very well tell her that. I could not very well tell her that. I told the waiter to bring caviar. For myself, I chose the cheapest dish on the menu, and that was a mutton chop. But the lady was very much criticizing. She is criticizing about checking or eating mutton chop. She is telling that this is not good for health. How do people eat this type of very heavy food like chops and other things that you are overloading your stomach by taking this type of job? Very much silly types of things. But the main cause the writer took the mutton job only. This is cheap. That's why he took the mutton job. Next. Now, okay, so I think you got the tone and the ironic and the situational irony from the story, and she ordered salmon, caviar, asparagus, ice cream, coffee, and peach also the most expensive items on the menu. But at each and every time she was telling that she never eats more than one thing. So this is very much ironical. Ironical that this is actually what actually happens is the opposite of what is expected. Now, the narrator, this is the first summary. The narrator is flattered by a woman who admires his writing. So the lady is the admirer. So in this story there is two persons. One is the lady and the writer. Lady is the admirer and the writer. Writer is young and struggling person. Okay, so at that time he is the just only the starting, only at the beginning of his career. She invites him to lunch at a fancy restaurant, very expensive restaurant. She claims she only eats lightly a little fish. She tells that my doctor says that, my doctor, okay, look at here, that my doctor, when the thing came about drinking water or wines, she says that my doctor, have you got it? My doctor will not let me drink anything but champagne. Page number 31. On the top of the page, she says that my doctor will not let me drink anything but champagne. So she would like to take champagne, which is another expensive item. But what happened to the writer? He turned a little pale. I ordered half a bottle. I mentioned casually that my doctor had absolutely forbidden me to drink champagne. So the writer took only very simple water. Now she ends up ordering expensive dishes. What types of dishes she orders? Salmon, caviar, asparagus, ice cream, coffee. And at the end of this speech also, we will also read those parts. Okay, so all the items are very much expensive. The narrator is left financially and emotionally drained. Financially, he got bankrupt. Yes, and what happened? The ironic twist is that when, and from at the beginning of the story, you will see that years later, when the writer saw her on the theater, at the beginning of the story, mainly this is the flashback, this is the past memories, the writer, 20 years back, the writer is just writing his experiences. He is telling his experience to the audience or to the readers. So I saw her in the theater from the beginning. At the beginning, I sat down beside her during the interval. It was long since I had last seen her, and if someone had mentioned her name, I hardly think I would have recognized her. She addressed me right. That means years later, when the writer saw her in the theater, he could not recognize her. She addressed me. Me means the writer. Writer, oh, how time does fly. Do you remember the first time I saw you? You asked me to luncheon. What the lady said, that the writer asked her luncheon, but the situation is different. Did I remember? Then the writer asked himself that, did I remember? Then it was 20 years ago. I was living in Paris, and at that time the writer just recalling. The writer recollecting his memory that 20 years back he was living in Paris, had a small apartment in a little quarter, and I was earning just enough money to keep body and soul together. That means he didn't earn at that time very much. Little money, and he was just starting off at the start of his career. Right? She had read a book of mine and had written to me about it. I answered, and okay, this is the story. When 20 years later, when the writer saw the lady, he did not recognize. He couldn't recognize because the lady became so huge, at that time the writer got financially drained because he thought that, okay, well, how does a decent lunch cost? It may cost 15 francs, something like this, but when they made and ate the dishes, and the lady says that he never eats more than anything for lunch, but again he is ordering one by one expensive dishes and taking and eating, okay, without thinking about the host's financial condition. So this is one type of flattery, and the writer got flattered. Next comes the themes. So in a story, this is the theme, irony and humor. The woman says he eats lightly but eats extravagantly. So this is the irony. Irony means that what happens is the opposite what is expected. So she eats lightly, the woman says that she eats lightly, that means she doesn't eat anything, but at last, yes, what happens? He is eating again and again, more than one thing. And the pretension, social pretension, the woman must breathe with airs of sophistication. What does the woman say? That he pretend to be an actress, but actually, he thinks that what did the writer thought? The writer thought that the woman will be younger, but actually no.
20 years older.
Yes, 20 years older. Actually, the lady was 40 years old, and the lady just proclaimed herself as an actress. And revenge of time, the narrator finds poetic justice in the woman's latter appearance. When after 20 years back, when he saw the lady was so used. That means she got fat because due to her overeating. Due to her overeating, the lady, at the end of this story, page number 32. Page number 32. Okay, the bill came and yes. Today she weighs 133 kilograms. Yes, look at that. When the immortal gods take a hand in the matter, it is pardonable. Last sentence. Pardonable to observe the result with complacency. Today she weighs 133 kilograms. So, looking at her, the writer got some satisfaction, self-satisfaction. You can think that this is, he thought that gods, that means the Almighty, gods take a hand in the matter. Take a hand, that means gods did the correct thing, right thing about the woman. Now she weighs 133 kilograms. This is the poetic justice, and I think the poetic justice is, what is poetic justice? Poetic justice is the punishment. Punishment should be given to the real criminal, and the good people. Good should be rewarded. The good people should be rewarded, and the criminal should be punished. This is called poetic justice. Criminal or the bad people, the worst people. Yes. So, according to the author, what the monks, Somerset monks thought about the woman, that he got the poetic justice because she was punished, because she became so heavy, so yes, fat. So poetic justice, here write down the poetic justice, that in the good people, good, that means the honest people, the authentic person, the good people needs to be rewarded. needs to be rewarded, and the bad or worse people or the criminal or the this type of the negative or evil, okay, in a sense, evil should be punished. Good people need to be
punished.
Good people. Yes, will be rewarded. Will be rewarded. That means they and the evil will be punished. Will be punished by the Almighty or the people or anybody, but punishment should be given to those who are bad, who are evil, who are dishonest, this type of. So the poet got some mental satisfaction looking at the lady that, okay, once upon a time you did whatever you did to me, you made me bankrupt. You made me bankrupt, but now what happened to you? You got so fat, so used, and this is the punishment. One type of punishment. Yes? And means the often intentionally sarcastic or humorous. Okay, so now character analysis. The narrator is young, impressionable, insecure, and humiliated but learns a life lesson. Okay? The narrator learns a lesson in his life that nobody should be flattered by looking at the outer appearance or listening to anybody's sweet words, something like this. And the woman is manipulative and pretentious. Okay, in this story we got two characters except the waiter. There are two characters. One is narrator, the writer himself. He is young, impressionable and insecure, and humiliated means, okay, the process that he got at the all the money of this month, rest of the month he has spent at that time. And when the waiter came, he has no money at all to give him the tips. And what will he eat for the rest of the month? The bill came, and when I paid it, I found that I had only enough for a quite inadequate tip. So he had no tips still. Her eyes rested on an instant on the 3 francs I left for the waiter. Only 3 francs for the tips. But when I walked out of the restaurant, I had the whole month before me, but not a single penny in my pocket. After the lunch. But what he would eat, he had to borrow money from others, but I don't know what happened. But the writer said that the whole month before me, but not a single penny in my pocket. So this is how the writer got humiliated and bankrupted also. And what about the woman? Manipulative, pretentious, and uses charm and flattery to exploit. Okay, write down these very important points to be remembered. Next, literary devices. I have, while going through the story, I have also discussed about the irony. Irony, situational, Harvard irony is there. Irony, situational irony, that the very sentence that I never eat more than one thing in luncheon. Okay, so she still orders something expensive and modest, and she orders salmon, caviar, asparagus, all the expensive dishes. But she says that I never eat more than one of these products. Okay? And satire also, and imagery. Imagery means there is vivid description, very clear description about the foods, dishes. When the asparagus came, so great asparagus. I should be sorry to leave Paris without having some of them. having some of them. My heart sank. Look at page 31. Page number 31 at the middle of the page. Middle of the page. No, I never eat anything for lunch. And again the sentence comes. So many times the sentence is that it is just uttered by the lady. Just a bite. I never want more than that. And I eat that more as an excuse for conversation than anything else. I couldn't possibly eat anything more unless they had some of those great asparagus. I should be sorry to leave Paris without having some of them. Have you got the sentences? Have you got it? So what happened to the writer? My heart sank. The writer's heart sank. I had seen them in the shops and I knew that they are horribly expensive. The writer saw the asparagus, but he never thought of buying or eating asparagus because they are terribly expensive. So the writer asked, Madam wants to know if you had any of those great asparagus. Just try to be more hospitable, try to be more generous. I tried with all my might to will him to say no. The writer asked the waiter, but he just mentally just saying that if the waiter said no, then he would be very much happy. A happy smile spread over her face and he assured me that they had some so large, so tender and so very rich that it was a miracle. So look at the description and okay, just try to understand the descriptive words, the adjectives used by writer about the asparagus. Regarding the asparagus, they are so large, so tender, and so very rich that it was a miracle. Got it? Yes, you got it? So these type of descriptions, vivid and clear and very amazing descriptions are here. Next. I have told you there are some messages also. Messages for you. Don't be fooled by appearances. People may exploit your simplicity and generosity under the guise of admiration. Okay? So people may use you, may exploit your simplicity. So time reveals the true nature of people. Okay? So this is a famous phrase of there, a friend in need is a friend indeed. Okay? So time says, time reveals the true nature of people. Next, conclusion. So, look at the Nanjan is a humorous yet insightful look at human behavior. The writer, the tone of the story is very much ironical and humorous. The writer tries to give humor, but yet very much insightful about human behavior. Highlights themes of deception, irony, and poetic justice. So, do you understand poetic justice?
Yes, ma'am.
Poetic justice? Poetic justice, the good people, okay, good should be rewarded, and the evil or bad people
Should be punished.
punished. This is the poetic justice. And themes of deception, that means the pretend, that means the fake people you need to realize their behavior, their activities. A masterful short story that balances humor with social commentary. Okay, so these type of incidents or experience you may have your life. So be careful of those persons. Be very much cautious of selecting claims. Okay, these are the lesson for you, message for you. And with this, I would like to conclude. And if you do you have any questions, you can ask. No question. I think you have enjoyed the story.